everyone, welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham D, and this man wearing the exact same hoodie as me is the man that we call Baby.
Hello.
So that mighty fine hoodie you've got there, babe.
It's a mighty fine hoodie you've got there, Graham.
I noticed that you've got yourself a nice new green hoodie, and you're wearing your Ice Cream Uploads hat. I mean, if I'd have known that that's what I was going to be... Oh, that's exactly what I'm wearing today. Oh my god, wow. Same, but same. Yeah, we weren't planning to wear this stuff today, but we have nice surprises from the lovely people at Muscle Moose. I'll tell you about that in a little bit, but let me tell you a little bit about who we are. My name is Graham. This is Babe, and we together are Ice Cream Uploads. Well, I said we're Ice Cream Uploads. I do say that. I just want a bit of a caveat. We are part of Ice Cream Uploads. Ice Cream Uploads is a much bigger team than us, but we are the guys that you usually see here on the channel live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. And in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. What? Fuck! Crackling audio, no! I was nailing the intro then as well.
I know. I didn't want to interrupt you, but it'd be like...
Okay, with that in mind, BRB.
You know what? That's actually stuck in my head, but it's a superstition. That girl's gonna make me fall. Wow! Skip to this. Skip to. You make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain.
You make your live
Something else.
life as a take away your pain. Woo! Okay, we are back.
You go insane.
Come on! This is where everyone else goes. Okay. Bring the crackle back. Bring the crackle back. Rip ears. I apologise. I don't apologise. It's Friday. It actually hurt quite a bit doing that. I've got a sore tongue today. But do you know what? It's worth it. Anyway, as we were talking about, we are wearing matching hoodies. I also mentioned that this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves, and we are going to bring you your daily dose of the news from the world of video games and beyond. We're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. And if you're in the chat, it's important that you do that, because we turn this live stream, which we do each and every single weekday, at twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads at around 10 a.m. Ish. It's now 9 minutes past 11. God damn it. Yeah, not the greatest. I mean, we've been pretty good all week, but not so much today. But anyway, we go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. But we turn that live stream into a video for YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're in the chat, please feel free to use your voice on behalf of those watching and listening on demand later on. Before we jump into the news, though, we do have a few talking points. The first one, which you've heard us mentioning, and this is the last time I can tell you. Actually, no, we'll have one more scoop because we'll draw it on Monday. This is the penultimate scoop where I can tell you that we have a giveaway, ! Giveaway in the chat. We'll bring that up for you. And that is our 2K followers giveaway. We hit 2,000 followers on Twitch a couple of weeks back, and the lovely people at 2K decided to celebrate us hitting 2K by giving us a bunch of 2K games. That has been bundled into a package accompanied by gifts from the lovely people at Muscle Moose, which ties into what we're wearing. Before we talk about that, though, the other thing to mention is ! Cyberpunk is another giveaway that we'll be doing not next week, but the week after. We'll give one of our subscribers a copy of Cyberpunk 2077. ! Giveaway and ! Cyberpunk will give you the links there. So speaking about Muscle Moose, obviously 2K UK do have 3 games in the 2K giveaway. So that's WWE 2K Battlegrounds, the Mafia Trilogy, and PGA 2K21. Huge love to the guys at 2K for supporting that. Thank you very much for high-fiving us, for hitting 2K. We appreciate it. As well as that, Muscle Moose have a selection box, which includes a bunch of Muscle Moose goodies in there. Speaking of Muscle Moose goodies, do you know what? I'm going to jump into the split screen so we can both be seen here. It's a mighty fine hoodie you've got there, babe.
It is. And to say this is meant to be a medium and I've got my big fat ass in it, that is an absolute testament to the guys over there.
Yeah, so we woke up today. We weren't expecting anything, but I'll reach into the box of goodies that is behind me. We got some goodies. Yes, with a compliment slip. You won't be able to read it, but it does say, we hope you enjoy your Muscle Moose hoodie and cap. Thanks for your support. Team Moose, which is exactly what it says on the sleeve. Yeah. Well, it's backwards for you, I think, but there you go. Upside down that way. Team Moose. There we go. So the lovely people at Muscle Moose have given us hoodies. I mean, for me, I'm a large, so when I saw medium, I thought, well, that's not going to fit me. This is huge. Like it's a big, comfy, oversized hoodie. It's perfect for streaming, actually. Unless you're a bit bigger like Bib, and then you've got yourself a really nice fitting hoodie. So Bibby's is like proper nice fitting.
If it literally fits me like a glove, like it couldn't be any more perfect.
So as well as the sexy hoodies, we also have nice snazzy hats, and we would usually not bother with hats because we have matching ice cream uploads baseball caps, but today it feels like we should mix it up. So yeah, boom, there we go. We have Muscle Moose hats as well now. So shout out to the lovely people at Muscle Moose for that. And just to remind you as well, you do get a discount if you ever want to treat yourself to any Muscle Moose items. ! Muscle Moose. Caps are on, but it should work. There you go. If you ever want to buy any Muscle Moose products, we do have a discount code. We don't earn anything off that discount code, by the way. So we're not telling you to buy it because we get cash back from it. That's just you get 25% off if you buy anything from musclemoose.co.uk. It's a company that's local to us, and as you can tell from what we're wearing now, it's a company that supports us. So we appreciate those guys and give us gifts and bits like that. So if you want to buy anything from Muscle Moose or Team Moose, then get yourself involved there. Nice. It's Christmas coming.
Second biggest thing to come out of Stockport since the Blossoms, Graham. I'll tell you that much for free.
Well, there you go. I was going to say some joke about a motorway or something, but I thought, you know what, actually, that's a full-on dad joke. I mean, I've already been there once already today, so let's just leave it alone, Leslie. Anyway, let's jump back through the chat. Apologies for getting the duff audio once again. Crackly audio. The bitrate is going to the toilet for a bit, lads. Ooh, yeah, okay. I thought I'd kind of figured a way around it. Basically, my stream output is so intense that it keeps fracturing my output, so my audio occasionally dies. And I've managed to stop it for most of the week, but yeah, clearly today, too much. Watching you guys with the same cap and hoodies, it's like the sequel to Twins is finally happening. Twits, that's what this is, Twits. Morning, Madge. Morning, Mr. Clark. How are we all doing? How is everyone? Is everyone ready for the weekend? Does everyone have any plans for the weekend? What video games are you guys going to be playing? I know what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing a bit more Fortnite.
Yeah. Level 95, Graham.
Level 96, babe.
6? Shit.
I'm 96, and I am literally a fraction to get to level 97. So I will hit that pretty easy. The thing is, I don't have any of the missions left to keep topping it up, apart from ones that are ridiculous. I managed to find a truck yesterday. So there's a mission on Fortnite at the moment where you have to basically get in a truck and drive it from one place to the other. But a lot of the vehicles in the game have wheel clamps or boots, if you're American, so that you can't drive them. So you have to go into a different mode, like Team Rumble, and find a truck and get it in. But when you find the truck, it doesn't have enough fuel, so you've got to find a gas can. And anyway, after lots of faffing, at like 1 o'clock in the morning this morning, wasn't going to sleep, so I thought, well, I might as well keep trying. Mrs. Danny Dave with the 13-month Twitch Prime. Hey, what a beautiful lady. Thank you very much, babe. Much appreciated for using
legendary behaviour.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Danielle sat up at 1 o'clock this morning trying to figure out how we can do this. I'm there playing the game, trying to find these trucks. She's looking on her phone, trying to find answers for how to Google it and where to find bits. We eventually managed to find this truck. Find the truck, not enough gas. Find a different truck, too far away. We can't make it in time before the blue zone kills you. Finally find a truck and a gas can. We're on our way into the circle, and my internet shits itself, so that like I could still control the game, but nothing that required me to ping the server. So I couldn't get out of the truck, but I could sound the horn, because the horn's just a local audible thing. But trying to get out of the truck, trying to steer or anything like that, couldn't do anything. So yeah, anyway, I turned it off with a face like a slapped ass. So bits like that, that's what I'll be doing this weekend. What are you guys doing? What about you, babe? Any plans for the weekend?
Yes, I'm going to start Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm also going to continue playing Days Gone. I've only got like 13 levels left on Fortnite, so that's probably going to take me a couple of hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours-ish. But yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I really want to start that one now. I also want to get more into Days Gone. I think I've probably played it now for about 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like thoroughly enjoying it. Everything about the game so far is ticking all the boxes that I wanted from it, and I'm a bit infuriated with myself, if I'm being honest, that I've slipped on it for so long, because it 110% is a game that I should have picked up on launch, but didn't. I think all the fanfare, and we say this all the time on this show, don't listen to everybody else's reviews on it, find out for yourself. And I fell into that trap myself. Everyone was saying it. Well, a lot of reputable sources that I deem reputable claim that it was very repetitive, very boring. It got a bit stagnant. And so far, I haven't experienced any of that. I'm thoroughly enjoying the way that the combat is, the stealthy mechanics of it, going in and not just shooting up the place, literally scouting it out with my binoculars, finding out if I can get round someone to stab them silently and then take away all their shit and then move on to the next place. 100% clear it, clear out the swarm nests. Everything that I wanted from a game, I'm absolutely in.
Well, see, I knew it had mixed reviews, but from the people that I know that I can ask about their opinions on it, most people, the column inches were telling me, yeah, not spectacular. But the people that I knew that would give me more qualitative opinions rather than quantitative would be saying, actually, ignore that. It's a really good game. It's really good. It's getting a lot of negative coverage that I don't think it justifies, is what the general consensus for me was. So I haven't played it not because I didn't think the views were great. It was just one of those things. There's so many games that I haven't played, time and everything, trying to do work, organise streams and bits. It's ironic that spending time on stream gives you less time to play games, which is exactly what you're doing on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you could play. But yes, you did sleep on it at the time. However, you now get it for free, and you get it with all the benefits and bells and whistles of getting it on your SSD and your PS5. Yeah. So yeah, who's the real winner? You, Bib. You.
Us.
You goddamn right. Gary says NBA 2K21 for me. Is that a game? Is that? It just sounds like a bunch of letters and numbers to me. God. Oh, there's Mr. T in the chat. I didn't realise he was there. Oh, no. Good morning. Good morning. Demon's Souls.
Take our games away from us.
Yeah, we love you. Demon's Souls all the way steadily. Only one death so far, and first loss down. Lots more deaths coming though. GG's. Actually, do you know what? Let me see. Do I have the animations on this? Let me see. This one is in celebration of Asim's weekend. You expect to see a lot more of this.
Thank you for the ice cream.
Okay, it's not on top of the screen, it's behind it. Fuck it. Well, you get the gist. And as it happened, Steel Bonsai dropping the host. Thank you very much, Steel Bonsai. Good morning. How was your day? Conqueror's Blade and some tabletop D&D for Thari and Drake. Did you mention that there's a Twitch Drops segment? I did have you on doing your art stuff whilst I was working away this morning. I think I heard you say something about another Twitch Drops segment because I saw your stream pop the last time they were doing the drop stuff. So hopefully that goes well for you, GG dude. If you don't know, Thari and Drake plays Conqueror's Blade and he's a partner with them, so gets included in a lot of all their activity. And he's really good. It's nice. Asim says, heard that's the best sports game on next gen. What, the Nabar 2K21? What's a Nabar? Obviously, NBA. Probably the best looking game that I've seen for next gen. Obviously, we're fairly early in, so there's kind of there's not much. But when you've got things like Spider-Man, Miles Morales and stuff around it, it's not exactly like it's the only game out there. But anyway, looks incredible. I mean, don't know what I'm doing and would get absolutely slaughtered on the counter attack. But it looked yeah, incredible. Yeah, great. Don't read this, Bibby, says Gary. Interesting.
I read it. It baited me in. But it's a very nice segue into our first story, Graham.
Is it really? Okay. Days Gone is great, underrated as hell by critics. See, Asim is one of those people. When I say I can get my quantitative opinions, and when I say quantitative, what I mean by that is opinions that, by and large, can be qualitative. Opinions that do mean something to quite a lot of people because they're from journalists and stuff, but I will take qualitative opinions as people that I won't speak to personally. So journalists that I might be aware of, that I might be following, that might write reviews that I could stumble across, but I will class them as the Metacritic. But people like Asim and other people that I know that play games, that I can get their brief but detailed enough, concise, that's the word I'm looking for, opinion. And Asim basically has said that since day one. Days Gone is great, underrated as hell. Not perfect, but a very, very, very good game, nonetheless. Don't suppose you have a PS4 locker code for a pink diamond, Anthony Davis? I don't know what that means. I wish.
Guessing that's like asking for a code for a Ronaldo or Messi, like an iconic moments one. So you can just unlock them without having to get them. I have no idea. I don't play NBA games. I'm terrible at them. Apart from if it's NBA Jam.
Is pink diamond like equivalent of black ball or iconic moments then from a PES kind of thing? And I'm assuming Anthony Davis is the baller then. See, I know. I'm down with the kids. I can figure things out by the power of deduction. Yes. Morning, Steel Bonsai says, morning, guys. Madge says, I had to chance my arm. Yeah, obviously you don't, as you don't get. If you have HDMI 2.1 TV, VRR fixes screen tearing for Valhalla on Xbox Series X. Sadly, PS5 doesn't have VRR support yet. Yep, Twitch drop segment this weekend. Nice. Well, enjoy, dude. Enjoy. Hopefully it gets you some good stream times. Madge says, Days Gone had a bit of rough launch, right? It looked really hype before launch. I should try it. Hello, fellow kids. How do you do? How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, pretty much that's it. Yeah, Days Gone did have a little bit, but I seem to remember like it was almost like Zombie Week. There was Days Gone. What was the other one? World War Z launching at the same time, and World War Z got absolutely panned from what I can remember. Days Gone, I feel almost got like scraped up in that. It wasn't perfect. I think there was some bugs in it, but it was not as bad as World War Z. But I think it almost got, oh look, all the zombies this week, and then when one of them was bad, it's like all the crap games this week, and it was just kind of like, I think they both just got, they were too close to each other, that they impacted on each other and weakened each other in that sort of sense. So I think there was a little bit of that in it too. It's the second top tier of a carding game. Currently top tier as of now. Okay, there you go. You learn something new every day. Speaking about learning something new, should we jump into some news stories? I think we should. That's what we're all here for. Just refine my Chrome source because, you know, Streamlabs. Nice. Okay, first article of the day, written by Yin-Poole at Eurogamer, says Microsoft acknowledges Xbox Series X and S performance issues. I will stop there just a second before I jump into the tagline, because I've been oblivious. I've literally missed this. So this is all learning to me as I go through. So any opinions I give on this aren't preformed opinions because I didn't know. So let's go. As some games are found to run better on PS5, says the tagline. So Microsoft has acknowledged performance issues with some Xbox Series X and S games that were found to run better on PlayStation 5. In contrast to Microsoft's marketing message that the Xbox Series X is the world's most powerful console, Digital Foundry's analysis of games such as Devil May Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Dirt 5 show deficiencies on next-gen Xbox consoles, there we go, compared to PS5. Here's Digital Foundry on Devil May Cry 5. In terms of correlating on-paper specs to the actual experience on screen, PS5 is either punching above its weight or Xbox Series X isn't delivering on the full potential promised by a bigger silicon investment and a much more substantial memory interface. And here's Digital Foundry on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The key takeaway is that PS5 is much closer to the 60 FPS target more of the time, while Xbox Series X can struggle. If you're on Team Green, I can imagine you are absolutely smashing your keyboard right now. So feel free to smash your keyboard. Drop your comments in as we go. Obviously, we will jump on those as we finish the article. In a statement issued to The Verge, Microsoft said it's working with developers to resolve the issues. We are aware of performance issues in a handful of optimized titles on Xbox Series X and S, and are actively working with our partners to identify and resolve the issues to ensure an optimal experience, Microsoft said. As we begin a new console generation, our partners are just now scratching the surface of what next-gen consoles can do, and minor bug fixes are expected as they learn how to take full advantage of our new platform. We are eager to continue working with developers to further explore the capability of Xbox Series X and S in the future. The patches are inbound, and indeed an update for Assassin's Creed Valhalla is imminent. GG, Mr. T. And Dirt 5 developer Codemasters has said it's working on a fix. But what caused these early days issues on the Xbox in the first place? The Verge said Microsoft lagged behind Sony pre-launch in terms of developer support, and that PS5 dev kits were made available long before Xbox Series X dev kits were distributed. The suggestion is the situation will be different 6 months to a year down the line as developers get to grips with the new consoles. Whatever the case, Microsoft will be keen to address these performance gaps sooner rather than later, particularly as it is leaning on third parties to showcase the Xbox Series X and S in the absence of a major first-party exclusive. So big news that, really. I mean, it is and it isn't. Shock horror, new systems aren't used to their full capability yet. That's basically the article. But there's a lot more in there when you start to dig into that. So, Bib, thoughts.
I mean, like you said, it's news. It's big news in some aspects and not in others. I think the biggest hindrance so far is the advertising messages that Xbox put out, which is a perfectly good and understandable and accurate statement of it is the more powerful console. It's got more capability within there. However, they are being let down at this very moment in time by the coding of the games. Like, they're just not running as well as they are on PlayStation 5. That's the long and short of it. Like, there's no middle ground or fanboyism in that statement. That's just the facts as it stands. That said, that can change in a matter of days. The developers could drop a patch as we're speaking now, and then that would take it to be the better place to play the games. It's just the way that it is at this moment in time. And at least Microsoft are acknowledging that. They're saying that the games aren't running as well as they want them to. They aren't putting out the performance that they come to expect. They will be looking to sort that out sometime soon. That's exactly what you want from a console launch. They could have just not mentioned it at all and then left people to sit there and wonder what the hell's going wrong. But they've acknowledged it. They're going to try and solve it. They're going to resolve it, and they'll move on. That's just the current situation. It won't be like that forever. It will get fixed at some point. It's just unfortunate that the messages that they've been putting out originally was to state that this is the best place and most powerful place to play your console games. Now, if someone was to say to me now that is absolutely inaccurate, fair play. I'm not going to deny. I deem that to be exactly what their marketing messages were at the time and have been since. All they've done is talk about how many teraflops and what the CPU and the GPU can output. That is their entire marketing message because they haven't got launch games. So if you want to say anything else, then that's absolutely your opinion. I'll take it with a pinch of salt, but that's not the way that I'm seeing it from this point, from this perspective. And at the moment, it isn't the best place to play the games. However, as I said, they could drop something within the next 10 minutes that will completely change that statement. So at this current time, it isn't the place. It could be that in 10 minutes' time. I absolutely don't know. Neither does anybody else. So it's just a hill that we'll all have to die on for this moment in time.
I think you're missing the key fact, though, that Xbox is shit and it's got no games, and yeah, you need Game Pass because you've got no launch games or whatever anyway. So I mean, PlayStation all the way. I told you it was better from day one. Yeah, so what if it's not got all the floppy terrors? I don't even care. It's better than it was last time. It wasn't even as powerful last time. So okay, fight your own fanboy fights in that vein if you want. Please continue because we're not going to do that here. But yes, this is minor. It really is. There is a comment in the chat. Where's it gone? Mr. T, having watched the Digital Foundry videos in question, it's quite minor though. A few frames here and there. Also, in some cases, the X comes out on top. Good and odd that they'd come out to address this. Yeah, that is bizarre. Imagine something new not being fully utilized. That's crazy, which I mentioned before. I think Tito said something. Maybe it's scrolled off screen. New console not yet optimized after recent launch. Shock, exactly. Yeah. That's what the story is. That is the story. There is more to it, which obviously we'll jump into where I do start to ask questions. But the fact that the games aren't perfect is fine. It's fine. No game is ever perfect. That's why we have the conversation about Cyberpunk going gold, because it's not perfect. Things need to be done. Things need to be fixed. The game, yeah, okay, we've got to a launch point, which is going gold, but it's not finished. There could be improvements, there could be tweaks or fixes in the real world. And that is this, effectively, but from a console side of things. it'll be fixed. It will be fixed. So many games launch
Mm.
with issues. This is the brand new. It's not the launch of a game. It's the launch of a system. So it's not perfect. Yes, the Xbox has more power, and no, it's not using it now. And the PlayStation looks better. Oh, great. Fast forward to when the devs are working with Microsoft and they've done it for 2, 3, 4 titles. It's a non-issue. It's irrelevant now. Suddenly, the Microsoft gap has been either removed or Microsoft have overtaken Sony. And once again, it's kind of irrelevant because the differences between one system and another are not going to be monumental. The reason that Microsoft has the better something, I don't care. The reason that Sony's SSD is fast, I don't care. I'm not, when I'm sitting there and I'm playing a game and it blows my fucking ass off, level alone my socks, if it blows my ass off, and I'm going, wow, that is incredible. But I'm actually disappointed because it's got less blah 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 giga megahertz of the floppy ray tracing tera units or whatever inside. I don't care. Nobody sits there and counts how many teraflops or gigahertz or bytes or rams or whatever. How many cores? Don't care. It was incredible. It looked incredible on my screen. And your Xbox Series X, when it's fully utilized, will look incredible. When the PlayStation 5 is fully utilized, it'll look incredible. It doesn't really matter that much different between them. However, the bit where I will jump into questions, though, is we saw the Xbox Series X 12 months ago for the first time at the Game Awards. We didn't see the PlayStation until about, 3-4 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
But PlayStation got their developer kits out, the pizza warmer, 12 months ago. We've been seeing people mocking those up as Dyson vacuums and everything since then.
Yeah.
How have PlayStation, who don't know what their console are going to be, what it's going to look like in its final form until the very last minute, how have they managed to get their software, hardware and software combinations out so that developers can use that, whereas Xbox haven't? That does feel like an issue for me. It's not an issue going forward. It's another issue that will stop imminently. As soon as they start working with their developers, that's fine. It just feels like a little bit of a ball being dropped because Microsoft's campaign was so successful in terms of in the public domain, getting the message out, getting the eyes on the console, having people being able to memify the fridge long before we got to speak about the Wi-Fi routers of the PS5s. We were having conversations. There was news articles where people were comparing Microsoft's campaign versus Sony's campaign as to which one was better, and everyone was like, "Well, Microsoft are absolutely killing it. Sony haven't done anything yet." But Sony were clearly doing bits behind the scenes, and there was even an article where the same article there was a quote where one of the Sony guys was saying, "Okay, don't judge us on our campaign until it's finished, because at the moment now you're judging us based on someone else's campaign and what they're doing. Forget that and judge us based on theirs." And yeah, Microsoft were hitting the groundswell. They were getting the loud voices and the noise behind it, but Sony were quietly ticking away, getting dev kits into people's hands. So I think that, for me, is the more interesting story there. The fact that a game doesn't look as good on one console or the other until the developer fixes it so that it does so, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. But the fact that Sony took more time to focus on making sure that their games and their developers and their systems were all running smoothly before putting pictures on the internet, that is a much more detailed story. That's not going to be the story that gets you clickbait headlines like Microsoft saying their consoles are shit. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's going to get you clickbait. But that's the more interesting story in there for me when you dig down into it.
I think one of the biggest things at the moment from the tech and bug side is the one that the PlayStation was experiencing for a while, where Miles Morales will crash if it gets put into
Rest
there
mode.
was a certain situation. Is it when it goes put into rest mode? Yeah, and you have to reinstall the games if it's on disc every single time that you want to play it. They were two massive bugs at the time, and I think they've been taken out now because I didn't have to reinstall Valhalla and I've got that disc. I'm sorry, I've got that on physical copy. So yeah, that was right out the box. People wasn't if they had a copy of FIFA from PS4, they were putting it in, and it was just reinstalling the game every single time. I imagine you was trying to play Weekend League, and you have to wait for the 60 gigabyte download every single time you wanted to play it. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but that is probably at launch the biggest concern for a lot of people. because still a lot of people buy physical copies. I mean, there is a lot of digital download ones, and me being the div that I was, deleted everything off my PlayStation 4 before moving on to my PlayStation 5 when I could just transferred it all off over in a second. But
you could have transferred it over in 12 or 13 hours like I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
via Wi-Fi. But I think for me, those were two massive PlayStation bugs at launch. And I think we've already had in the week that we've had the console, 2 massive software patches. So it's not as if they're not doing stuff about it. There was always going to be flaws on both systems when the consoles come out. That's just the way it is. It's a new piece of hardware.
Yeah.
There will be patches down the line.
There's stress testing in terms of the systems. There's UX testing, user experience in terms of how you use the menus and things. All that stuff will be there'll be a lot of stuff that you probably don't even notice, as well as some significant things that you do in the first patches. We are just in the early days, so yeah, it's just taking that with a pinch. A comment. Actually, before we start jumping into the comments, this is what Asim shared earlier on in the chat. The link. Excuse me. Tom Warren, who's from The Verge, says, so, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla patch today has somehow made performance on the PS5 worse in the 60 FPS mode and still not fixed the screen tearing fully on Xbox Series X. Hopefully, more fixes are on the way. I haven't looked into the comments, but just looking at the comments briefly, because I've not seen that post before, Asim shared it just then. A lot of people are saying that Microsoft have paid developers to nerf the PS5 version of the game.
People are thick, man.
Looks like Phil Spencer. Do you know? I might as well read these out with you on screen. I didn't want to do it because I didn't know if there was going to be anything malicious or anything there. Looks like Phil Spencer really looked into why PS5 is outperforming Xbox Series X. Don't know, but you're right. They made the PS5 version worse. I would recommend not updating it. Is one image. Valhalla patch doesn't solve Series X screen tear without dipping down to 30 FPS mode, which now feels like running through treacle. Back to screen tear I go. So. Yeah, it's neither here nor there. It's not perfect. I mean, Microsoft are not going to be going, do you want to just, a bit of corporate sabotage? Can you just fuck up PlayStation while we sort our shit out?
People would love that, though, wouldn't they? Scandal!
Imagine assuming that everyone around you is so malicious. I mean, being aware that people can be malicious, absolutely. Assuming that everyone is actively being malicious to you and what you play on, the level of narcissism there is incredible. It's all about me and how it impacts on me and my playtime. I swear to you that Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan are not sat there going, I wonder if Dark One X is going to impact on, how can we feck up? And no, they're doing their own things. And yeah, there will be some form of corporate sabotage and eyes on in big business. Yeah, absolutely. But not to that level. That's just ridiculous.
Ubisoft want to sell these games. Do you know what I mean? They're not gonna hinder selling the games across all platforms just for the sake of a few quid from Microsoft. Even if that was even contemplatable, it would never happen. Like, can you imagine Microsoft saying, if we pay you £2 billion? Oh, that's far too much of an exaggerated number because Assassin's Creed isn't selling anywhere close to that.
No, let's go with it. 2 billion. Yeah, I like it.
If we give you £2 billion, despite you potentially getting £10 billion, again, numbers plucked out the air, there's no way, this is in God's green earth, this is ever going to sell £2 billion. But anyway, for the sake of dramatic reading, do you mind just throwing a few bugs over the PlayStation as well, so we can say that this is the best place to play the games? It's never going to fucking happen. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine Ubisoft. For someone at that level, what they're basically saying is that Ubisoft are gone, okay, our game looks like a piece of shit right now on 50% of the next gen. How can we fix this situation? And you imagine it's that meme of the people sat around the boardroom table. How about we fix the bugs? But then it's like the one that's like, aha! Well, actually, it's the meme actually runs the other way. But yeah, people say, maybe we'll fix the bugs. Maybe we have different this and that. Or why don't we make it shit on the other 50% so people see it as universal? Ta-da! Nope, don't do that.
Out of the window.
Yeah, I mean that's not what Ubisoft are going to be doing, because not only will they start to lose out on sales of Valhalla, that will tarnish the legacy of Valhalla and the Ubisoft franchise going forward. If you've bought Ubisoft franchise, Assassin's Creed franchise, if you bought a Ubisoft title and it's dog shit, that's going to make you think about it. Okay, specifically for that brand, you buy Assassin's Creed. Okay, the last time I played with fire, I got burnt, or ice in this case, because it's fucking Nordic and stuff. I got Frozen. Yeah, if the last one's crap, the next one's going to be crap. That's the mindset that people will have. Ubisoft are not going to throw away future sales just to make things be equally shit. That's not how they will work. Yeah, I love the idea of it. I mean, that's fucking Netflix documentary drama series stuff. Yes, please, but that's not the real world. Anyway, jumping back into the chat. Where is it? There was a pun that needed to be. There we go. Gary, I've downloaded Days Gone. The days will be gone once I've started that. Hey! Yeah. See, I mean, I like a good pun. But puns of that caliber really send me round the bend. Bend Studios make Days Gone, by the way, just in case you know where. Just there you go. Yeah, nice. We all nice. Okay, move on. Good morning, gents, says Gagad. Good morning. Welcome in, dude. There's Tito's comment about new console not yet optimized after recent launch. Shock! I know. Let's be honest. Both consoles have issues that need resolving. Seems silly to compare at this stage. There you go, Tito. Talking sense in a sensible way. How dare you? You have to be green or blue. You cannot have a blanket statement that is logical or treats both with the same level of respect. You have to be one or the other. So that's your issue there. Mr. T says, in theory, the specs of the Xbox Series X should have it as the leader in terms of performance, but even then it would be a few frames or a more consistent solid resolution. Gary says, yeah, exactly. It's so minor and clearly an optimization issue. Look at Cold War. It runs better on the PS5 at 120 FPS than it does on the X. Yet the X runs better on 60 FPS with ray tracing. Mr. T says, it probably comes from the fact that the PS4 to PS5, the dev way of working hasn't changed much at all, whereas One X to Series X, the dev way of working has changed a bit. So to get the best out of the system, they need to do a bit more. And Gary says, yeah, anything with ray tracing enabled seems to run better on the Xbox Series X. I mean, that's the kind of thing. There's trade-offs and bits in there, but yeah, as we mentioned, it's when the dust settles, they will all kind of play similarly. And the reason PlayStation had such a better time, I mean, obviously not to say that if you just play Xbox games, you'll have had an amazing time in the last generation as well. But subjectively, from the outside of the console war, the reason PlayStation had a better time is because PlayStation had the better catalogue. And if you play a game that's only available on Xbox, it's irrelevant with how good it's playing because you have nothing to compare it against. You can't compare how The Last of Us plays on the Series X because it's not there. You can't compare how Days Gone plays on the Series X because it's not there. Xbox isn't in that place yet, but from 2021, 2022 is where it's scheduled to be starting to kick off. In 2022, then, I mean, that's where you can go, do you know what? I'm not asked about console stuff because I have my Xbox exclusive games. Hopefully they're not just all Bethesda titles, and hopefully we do have the likes of the Halos or new IPs from all of the studios that they've been working on. At that point, it doesn't matter if you've got more power. I mean, it could do. It could matter if you've got more power because you might be able to use it with your own first-party, in-house, made for platform and engine games. Then you can absolutely smash it to bits, like Sony have done with Spider-Man and with all of the other PS Plus collection games that have completely smashed it because they're made for reason, for service, for platform. When Microsoft start doing that, then yeah, okay, the stuff does become important, but even still, only to your source. You can't compare apples and oranges, so don't bother. It probably. Oh no, actually, I've read that bit. A lot of it is bug related as well. Apparently in Watch Dogs Legion, the PS5 version has a bug where there aren't any puddles reflected in Windows when the X version does. It's nitpicking at this point. I mean, someone would probably notice that. I may notice something like that once in a blue moon. But if you're running around looking for puddles in Windows, these are the same people. People are running around in Watch Dogs Legion looking for puddles in Windows. These are the same people that will complain that Cyberpunk can be played for 175 hours. Mate, you're running around for 2 hours looking for puddles in Windows. 175 hours is nothing for you. So it's like swings and roundabouts. If you're looking for puddles in Windows, but you complain that the game's too long, what do you want, Fracker?
At what point do we move on to this conversation about how nets look in football games?
Do you know, I don't think we should because
just cringed.
Asim single-handedly destroyed those for his own personal gain. I mean, the nets were wonderful. They had the right rigidity plus the right springiness. They had the 3 stanchions in rather than just 2 on the side, so they didn't sag and stuff. But Asim thought, you know what? The ones that should have 3 will have 2, and the ones that 2 should have 3, and stuff. Because that's just the way he rolls. It's all Asim's fault, by the way. If you want to tweet that angrily at Asim, his Twitter is at Gary Clark. If you do want to send him all... There you go. If you can't tell, that was me being a dick. There you go. Very much so. Nitpicking from fanboys. Digital Foundry are clever. They unknowingly are not fuel that with their analysis. That's where their views come from. Let's be honest. I mean, Digital Foundry know that sort of stuff is useful for getting views, which then is useful for getting more content. I mean, we do kind of lean into that a little bit. Like I said earlier on, there's a reason we started with the Xbox saying that their stuff is shit compared to PlayStation, who are much better, and Xbox are really crap and hate themselves, and PlayStation hate them too, and everyone hates them. Oh my god! There's a reason you pick that kind of story, because some people go, "What the fuck?" I actually have something to say. I mean, obviously, I'm not. You guys know this anyway, but yeah, we go with those stories because that helps with our content spread as well. But obviously, we will instantly then pull that apart when we're in this. The difference with Digital Foundry stuff is they aren't necessarily there to talk about the ins and outs and the repercussions of that. They just talk about the facts, which does feed it, but it's not necessarily... Facts and statements can be used subjectively, even though they are objective things, which is a shame. We hopefully add a little bit of the subjective nature with our opinions around it. As mentioned, they are our opinions. It's not fact. You can question it, you can disagree, you can take it and mold it into whatever you want. But yeah, I agree. The thing with those sort of things is by saying, "Oh, Xbox has got issues and it's bad." Yeah, it might be bad in that instance, but that's just someone's got to take that to fight a different fight, the incorrect fight. Ultimately, we have 2 genuinely beastly consoles that are only going to get better and better. Exciting times, I'd say. Amen. I hear that. I had to reinstall Sackboy twice. Sackboy is Gary's flatmate, by the way. Sorry, I'm joking. I installed it, played it. Oh, sorry, Gary, I'm gonna have to do all day today. That's twice now in quick succession. I apologise. I love you. I installed it, played it all day, and then went to play it before going to bed. And I had to install it again. Yeah, don't leave. Come back. Hey, Mr. T says, "I guess you didn't play it before bed then. Hit the sack instead." Though at least this time round, you are. What did you say?
What? Nothing.
Oh, okay. Though at least this time round, PlayStation Network hasn't crumbled unlike at launch, unlike the PS4. Did it crumble at launch? And I know it went down at Christmas from that big network hack thing. I can't remember it going down at launch. But then again, I didn't get it at launch. I got it like a week or 2 later because my pre-order feck up, and then picking it up in Sainsbury's, which I might have mentioned about 1,000 times already. Nice. Someone think of the kids. Don't you mean black or white, Kappa? I can't remember what that's in relate to. All I've got is Michael Jackson. If it's okay with my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white. Wow. There you go. That's just the kind of content you tune in for.
GMTA.
Oh, fuck yeah, no! It's Puddlegate all over again. What was that one? What was the puddle one? Was that Spider-Man previously? The puddles didn't look as high definition as they did before. Is that what it was? DF noticed Puddlegate in Watch Dogs Legion. Just don't. Hashtag sort out the nets. Anyway, so if you missed it, Microsoft acknowledges the Xbox Series X and S performance issues. The quote within the article from Phil Spencer says, "We are aware that the PlayStation is better than the Xbox Series X and S. We recommend sending back your Xbox Series S or X and buying a PS5. Also, sub to ICU. Love, Phil." There you go. So that was the quote. If you missed the article, that is the summary of it. I apologise. That is what it is. It's not. The Xbox is not worse. The PS5 is not better. They are both wonderful, wonderful machines. They're just new. Give it 5 minutes. Let them settle in. Jobs are good. I say they're new. Imagine trying to get a new console. Imagine pre-ordering your console now. There's no way you're getting one. I mean, there will be new consoles coming before Christmas. We covered this just yesterday, the day before. There will be more consoles coming before Christmas. PlayStation have confirmed more PS5s coming before the end of the year. But what if you were one of those eager beavers thinking, do you know what? I am absolutely going to go out of my way to get a PS5 at launch. Soon as they go live on Amazon, I'm going to be in there and I'm going to get one. Not only because brand new technology, the next generation of gaming, but also because, you know, I have a child and it's my child's birthday on the PS5 launch day. So you get in, you secure your PS5, and you get it delivered on launch day. Imagine how good that feels. Imagine it.
That would be nice.
Well, some people try to imagine it and were very, very well set up to imagine it, but Amazon. Why does Amazon suddenly appear? So there we go. This article, there we go. Amazon cuts ties with driver allegedly caught failing to deliver the PS5. This is written by Tom Ivan at VGC. And CCTV footage appears to show the worker handling package. Oh, aye. Before driving off, easy tiger. You get, whoo, it's not that sort of news show. Woo. So this is pretty similar to something that Enix, aka Jordan, mentioned that one of his mates did. He was filming his driver as he came up for like Snapchat. Yeah, PS5's here, boys, and then he left with his console. Apparently, I mean, I've not seen any evidence that this is what hearsay, a friend of a friend heard. So take that with as much as a pinch as you want, obviously. But one thing we did say when we last spoke about that is we haven't seen any evidence of that. If that was put on social, it would go viral. And that's exactly what has happened. As Amazon says, it's no longer working with a delivery driver who was allegedly caught on camera failing to deliver a PS5 console. Home CCTV footage appears to show the driver, who was working for an independent delivery company, getting out of his vehicle to deliver parcels to Bicester. That is how you pronounce that. Bicester. Bicester. It is Bicester, isn't it? Anyway, we'll say Bicester. Bisto! Deliver parcels to Bisto, UK-based Jenny Walker on November 19th, PS5 launch date in Europe, and her son's 16th birthday. However, like many other Amazon customers, Walker didn't receive her son's PS5 as expected on launch day. In between his deliveries, let me just hit play on this video whilst I read this. So in between his deliveries, the driver is seen handling what appears to be a PS5-shaped box before putting it back into his van and later driving off. Eurogamer reports that Walker's daughter drove to the local Amazon depot with the CCTV footage in hand and confronted the site's boss, who confirmed the man on camera was one of his employees and said he would be sacked. After the footage was posted online by Walker's husband, Richard, Amazon told the Oxford Mail, "We have very high standards for our delivery service providers and how they serve customers. The delivery associate will no longer be delivering on behalf of Amazon." Following last week's launch, multiple UK-based Amazon customers claimed their PS5 consoles did not arrive as scheduled, despite being marked as delivered by couriers. Some consumers even reported receiving erroneous items in place of their PS5 consoles, such as kitchen appliances and cat food, or only empty boxes. In a statement issued to VGC, a spokesperson for Amazon UK said the firm was investigating what had happened to the orders. "We're all about making our customers happy, and that hasn't happened for a small proportion of these orders," they said. "We're really sorry about that, and we're investigating exactly what's happened. We're reaching out to every customer who's had a problem and made us aware so we can put it right," is what Amazon have said. So there you go. Someone had their PS5 stolen by a delivery driver. We said it would be nice to get footage of that to prove that it actually did happen, and sure enough, there we go. So I'll jump into the next article there, because the next article ties in very, very close to this. Amazon pledged to put it right. That's what they said. Their wording was, anyone that doesn't have a console will put it right. Before I jump into the next article, if your console has been stolen off your drive, if your delivery driver has taken it out of the van, scanned it so his system knows, oh, delivered, nice, taken a picture of it on the floor so it looks like it's in situ, put it back in his van and left, how can Amazon make that right for you? What do they need to do to make that right for you? Let me just gauge your opinions. What would make it right for you, babe?
I don't know. Maybe a console being delivered the next day if they had them available, because there would have been excess stock. A gift voucher to potentially reorder it or pre-order it for the next time it comes. Like, something along them lines. So you're actually still on the right lines of getting your console. Just at some point, that'd be nice. What do you think?
Absolutely. Console now is the main one. You fucked it up, fix it. Fixing it is giving it me back. Console plus compensation, as Asim said, replacement plus compensation is probably more fair. I want it now still, but because of this faff, you better compensate me. And because this is theft, we've had to deal with all the stress and shit around this. It better be tasty compensation. Anyway, Amazon are going to put it right, is what Amazon said. Tom Phillips, Eurogamer. Days after Amazon promised to put it right for PS5 customers left with pet food, here's where we are now. We have applied a £10 promotional credit to your account, is the tagline. Oh my God. Last week, Amazon promised to put it right for every PlayStation 5 customer who did not receive the console they had paid for after many received alternative items or simply nothing at all. Now, midweek, we've checked in with some of those affected to see how things are going and if Amazon has kept its word. In short, no one I spoke to had seen their fortunes dramatically reversed. None of the consoles which customers believe were stolen have suddenly materialised, and there's no new PS5 stock on Amazon to try and order a replacement. Everyone I spoke to has now been given a refund, though some are still waiting for the money to actually appear. Most have been offered a small amount in the form of Amazon gift vouchers, generally around £10, though up to £50 in some cases, and £150 in a couple of examples. A number of people told me that they had declined their compensation as Amazon still had £450 of their money and had not delivered the console that they had paid for. Others said they had cancelled future Amazon pre-orders and binned off Amazon Prime subscriptions. At no point has Amazon ever accepted any of its PS5 orders were stolen or admitted to any wrongdoing on behalf of its warehouse staff or those driving its own Amazon-branded delivery vehicles. While many have been given a small amount of compensation, it was initially granted only to those who had taken the time to contact Amazon's customer support team. One affected customer, Eurogamer reader Dan Smith, told me that navigating Amazon's layers of customer service had been like a video game in itself, which is actually pretty ironic. Imagine wanting to play in the next generation of video games and the only video game you get so far is tackling Amazon's customer services. First level of customer service, £5 promotional credit. Second level, £10, Smith said. Honestly, it costs more in time than the voucher is worth going that route. I did see a few people had been given £150. One shared his email with me, but I asked I didn't share it publicly. I was specifically told by executive customer services twice they didn't offer compensation despite knowing others were being offered. All in all, seems like hush money depending on how persistent you were willing to be. Another affected customer, Lauren Barrett, told me that across 4 calls to Amazon through the weekend, the retailer gave multiple possible explanations for what had happened to their delivery. That a neighbour had taken it, that the driver had returned it to the depot, and that Amazon actually had experienced a widespread problem internally and would attempt to prioritise customers with a new PS5 when possible. We're not sure we would ever trust them again with something like this, Barrett said. There's been no cohesive response/resolution plan whatsoever. The lack of ownership that they've had any part to play in it just makes it more frustrating. Yet, they let scalpers and bots buy 20 of them just to sell them on at 3 times the price. Hopefully, this will signal a change in how people shop. I'm not holding my breath that it'll change the way Amazon do business. Okay, we will leave that there because this article still continues to go. You get the gist. Someone has proof that delivery drivers have been helping themselves to shit. Not like let's see if there's a comment in the chat. Oh, I didn't know where is it Hussam? Is that his name? Asim? Your heroic delivery driver?
Hussam the hero.
Yeah, so it's not clearly for every Hussam the hero, there's a Norman the knobhead kind of thing out there, just bundling consoles into his van and delivering. Not maybe 1-to-1, but yeah, there are some out there. Mm-hmm. Amazon's, though, they're pledged to put it right. Imagine using those words. We are going to put it right, and then arguably not putting anything right. If they gave me £150 promotional voucher and the console in the next batch, I would take that. I mean, it's not now. The next batch is pre-Christmas, as we found out from Sony already. I would take that. I'd be pissed, but 150 quid off of a £450 console, it's still only 33%. It's not a life-changing amount of money, but it's a good amount of money. You can buy yourself a couple of games, maybe 3 if you're getting some Christmas discount bundled kind of things. I don't know, but you can buy yourself some accessories to go with your console. 150 quid is a chunk of cash. Yeah, it's not in the PS5 level, but for an everyday person, 150 quid is quite significant. So fine, fair enough. £5 promotional voucher some we're getting. £10 is the average. £10. My God, the console costs £450. So 10%. It's not. It's just over. 10%. 1% is £450. So is it? Is that? Am I working my maths out correct? Yeah, £450. Yeah. So is that like a 2 and a bit percent discount at £10? I can't fucking work things out, but yeah. I mean, literally, stupid. £10 is nothing in that sort of sense. So yeah, absolutely horrendous. And the thing is, with Amazon, they will throw money at you if you have an issue. I had an issue with one of my monitors. My monitors, humble brag, quite expensive. 2 of them anyway. But you pay for an expensive monitor. I bought some Asus ROG ones that have LED downlights, and the back of them have got a really nice casing to keep all of the cables in. Anyway, the casing is a form of a clip-on plastic board that keeps all the wires in it, and they just basically come out of one hole. My monitor didn't have this huge plastic back panel that clips on the back. So I spoke to Amazon and saying, yeah, this is bullshit. This back panel is not here. It's missing. Oh, okay. Do you want to send it back to us? I was like, no, because it's a warehouse deals one. So yeah, I'm buying one that's been pre-owned, but I knew there could have been a scratch or something on the screen, but I didn't expect parts of it to be missing. Okay, well, we can give you £10. I was like, I'm not being funny, but £10 is not going to cover it. I've just Googled how much it is to replace this part, and it's not even anywhere near that. How much is it to replace that part? I'm not telling you that. How much are you going to give me to fix this? In the end, I got a fucking chunk of money. It was like 100 and something quid back off them. You have to push them, and they will give you the money. But that's bullshit. If you've systematically let people down, people have to ring you up and push you to get past a measly, irrelevant £10 promotional credit. It's not good enough. That is not good enough at all. Put it right.
Nowhere close.
Nah, disgusting. And bear in mind, we are working for Amazon right now because we're on Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. But do you know what? We will say it how it is. That is not good enough. That is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
But one of the biggest companies in the world that have some of the best facilities in terms of like cloud storage, streaming, obviously this platform that we're using now, you think that if someone's had their stuff stolen by their employees or something's gone wrong down the line and that person has had to have a refund, that they would be placed in a queue somewhere. Their system would be that advanced that they would then be able to have a special link where they're placed in a virtual queue for the next time the consoles come around, just as a gesture of goodwill. Not obviously they still have to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they're going to get it for free, but just a virtual queuing system so that you are first in line for when the next batch come in, because we know that the next batch is going to be coming in. PlayStation have confirmed that there's going to be another batch sent to us well before Christmas. You're going to be in the virtual queue. Just wait, and then once we know everything's set up, we'll confirm it with you. We'll take payment, and then you'll get your console the next time round. I'm fairly certain that something like that would be doable for them at some point. Well, I don't know. I'm talking as if it's already something that they may have. They may already have those facilities in place. I'm not too sure, but that is definitely something that, especially Amazon, would easily be able to do. Like Currys did with the discount code. That was a new way of shopping. I've not seen that before, where you're booking for it, they'll give you £1,500 discount code to put towards your PlayStation 4. That for me is kind of revolutionary in the way that we're pre-ordering stuff to try and stop scalpers. I'm fairly certain something like that would have been in place for the consoles, like just a virtual queue that you can have yourself in. But yeah, it's interesting that they've kind of gone down this route and, in more sense, pissed more people off rather than trying to sort out your problem.
The thing is, when you have the world's richest man that owns your company, and your company continues to churn money and will have churned shitloads more today, Black Friday, then do you know what? We do care, but we also earn enough to not really care. So, I mean, we care. We genuinely do care, but not enough to change anything significantly because that could cost us money. So we care-ish. We care-ish.
You can borrow our remote if they want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you said you don't have the facilities or whatever, I just literally got you don't have the facilities for that big man meme in my head. Tito says, I'm in no way tarring everyone with the same brush, but if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. How do they expect staff to be the best they can be if you aren't attracting good people with low wages? Gary says, £10? Are they taking the piss? Lol. 10 whole English pounds. Wow. Jeff Bezos is so generous. Mr. T says to Tito, this was a delivery partner though, so Amazon probably had contracts with the firm. Quite an expensive one too usually. Tito says, okay, I'm naturally suspicious of Amazon's business model. Mr. T says they have their in-house logistics delivery too, but only in some areas. Don't know how they are service-wise. I think the point still remains in some essences. You can't. There is an economy that needs to balance. Obviously, you can't pay every delivery driver a CEO's salary because business wouldn't work. You wouldn't have enough money; it'd go bust, and no one would have a job. So that's fine. We all understand that. I'm obviously not trying to speak to you like you're an idiot. I'm just sharing the point that obviously not all delivery drivers can get mega wages, but a lot of delivery drivers aren't on amazing wages, which is why you do see this fairly often. You do see delivery drivers making things disappear. And there was it you that was telling me about it? I mentioned it on stream-ish the other day. Did you say that someone's delivery driver just decided, fuck it, I'm going out with a bang, and just stole a shitload of items in one day? Was that you or was that someone else?
I don't think that was me.
Okay, someone I was talking to was basically their delivery driver just thought, fuck it, I'm quitting. So just took a shitload of stuff on their sort of last day. And that, if that isn't an example of an endemic, is endemic the right word? I wouldn't say forget, I'll leave the word because I don't know if it's right. If that's an example of what is a shit situation, if the drivers aren't being compensated enough or are working so hard but still not really getting it, then it kind of does make you understand that a little. Not that I'm saying it's ever right. It's not right. It's just like scalpers
putting yourself unemployable.
Yeah, exactly. It's choosing the wrong decision for now rather than planning for the future. It's and also it's fucking downright disgusting and disgraceful. That's what it is. Theft is horrendous. It's the same conversation we had yesterday with scalpers putting food on the table. No, you're still doing wrong to get that food on that table. It's not the right thing. You are stealing off of other people that don't have enough to fund yourself. It's not robbing the rich and giving to the poor. The same thing with this. Delivery drivers who don't have enough are stealing a 16-year-old kid's birthday present so that they can get some sort of enjoyment. I mean, there is big money in there. That probably doesn't filter down to all workers, and there are conversations, particularly around Amazon, around how they treat their staff. And I mean, I can't comment on that too much because I do order off Amazon. I do get things delivered to my house from Amazon with very little thought into that process. So the irony would be me preaching on my soapbox too highly about that. But
there is also the fact that you're ordering stuff to keep people in jobs as well, though.
I mean,
like, fair enough, it is shitty that obviously they're getting paid minimum wage. But if we didn't order anything, they wouldn't have a job in the first place. It's like long haul drivers.
Yeah,
their speciality is driving long haul with big fuck off trucks. It's a specialist job. Not everyone could. I can drive, but there is no fucking way I'm taking an 18-wheeler down the motorway. I won't be able to park that bitch up for a start.
It's like catch-22 though, because if you don't buy that stuff, they're not in a job. But you buying that stuff reinforces that situation that it's an okay situation for them to not get paid enough. So it's like
absolutely. Absolutely, especially with a multi-billion-dollar company, like the minimum wage should be. Did they get paid per delivery or do they get paid an hourly rate? I'd be very interested to know that.
There's different ways. I know that some companies do, like, you're basically a 0-hour staffer and you get paid per parcel drop off. Some companies give you a flat rate fee as you're just on the clock. Some companies have a mixture of both, where you've got a flat rate fee, but delivering parcels efficiently. I won't say speeding around your delivery, but delivering parcels efficiently gets you more. So you're basically on target or above target kind of thing. But it depends on each company. I don't know enough about which one is which, but I've heard all three. Gary says, I hate the fact that game charge people £10 to deliver the new consoles, but I would much rather pay that £10 delivery as at least you know you'll get your console. I mean, that's the thing. Some people pay £10 delivery to go for Royal Mail specifically, and then had games switch it over to DPD, which was shit. That's not good enough, and that's surely that's some form of breach of contract. If you've paid extra for something specific and they've gone, okay, we'll take that money but give you this instead because we'd prefer you to have this. That's not how contracts work. Yeah.
I ordered a PSP charger yesterday and it came on the same day. How is like that's something offered to me because I'm a Prime user, but like with that, I didn't even think about obviously who it would be that would be delivering the stuff because I know that I'm paying for a service from Amazon that can deliver something for me the same day. Why would I not want that? Why would I not want that when it's offered to me? But I didn't have any consideration to the person that would bring him stuff.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Like when you think about it,
I mean,
it's
a lot of people that deliver are just like essentially volunteer people. So one of our local delivery drivers, a really nice lady, who delivers everything. You order from Amazon, she'll do the deliveries. You order from Next Catalog, she'll do the deliveries. Wherever you order from, she'll do the deliveries because that's essentially that's her job. Doing the Amazon stuff isn't enough, so she does Amazon and Next and whatever, and kind of juggles them all. I don't know whether she does Amazon first and then Next, and then or whether she just ticks them all off at the same time, which sounds like multitasking nightmare to me. God, fuck that shit up. But yeah, basically, I order it for ordered tonight, delivered by 6 p.m. or between 6 and 10 p.m. tonight. If you order now, she goes along to her Amazon depot and just gets her truck full of stuff. Someone picks it off a shelf, puts it on a pile. That pile gets into her truck, and she comes and delivers it to my house straight away. I don't think of any of that when I'm ordering. I'm just thinking, I need a HDMI splitter. Boom, I'll buy that now. Bosh, that's it. I don't think about the people that it comes to. The steps in the logistical chain before it reaches me. But yeah, I do think there is a comment in there. There's definitely something in the comment of pay peanuts, you get monkeys, as Tito said. I do believe that. Not everyone's paying peanuts, though. We are paying our Prime subscriptions. Amazon is passing that money on to the companies, and even external deliveries companies. Some of them are really good, some of them are not. But at the end of the day as well, some people are just nasty bastards. We've seen it with the scalper groups. If someone knows that he just scalps that one console by sticking it back in his van, he's got himself 1,200 quid. That's, for some people, 1,200 quid is too much of a temptation to turn down. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but that's probably some of the logic of what they're thinking. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, jump back in. Yeah, I had a couple of issues with Amazon deliveries. Pushed them and went for giving £10 voucher to 50. Got to push it. Push it real good. I appreciate the extra push it real good reference there, Rasmus, as well. Very much. £10. I got more than. Oh, scrolled off screen. £10. I got more. Then when I had an order that had a tray of pot noodles and a water bottle go missing, I got a full refund of £50, 15 quid credit, which is pretty much the total cost. Nice. Never had an issue with Amazon, but they did deliver a parcel to me with my stuff that wasn't for me. Question to the panel. What would you do? As in, they delivered something to you that wasn't for you. As in, you got it delivered and signed. As in, was it in your name? Because that's the one. I mean, that's a bit difficult. If someone sends something for me and it's my neighbours or something like that, I'd happily take my neighbour's parcel and give it my neighbour because I have a good relationship with my neighbours. But if someone sent me a parcel that wasn't for me, that had my name on it, what do you do then? I don't know. I mean, do you ring up Amazon and go, yeah, I know you probably think after my viewing and browsing history that crotchless panties are on my list, but this is not for me. I don't know. Realist United, good morning, dude. Good morning. Gary, has your mate got a spare PS5? I could go into trickle-down economics. Oh, let's do it. Let's break it all down. No, just don't read it. And the numerous studies that shows it doesn't work. But I don't want to go down that road. For me, I don't think it's a question of minimum wage, but maximum wage. Yes, CEO should, of course, be remunerated for the level of responsibility. However, executive size has continued to increase year on year versus entry-level pay. In 1965, an executive earned 20 times the salary of entry-level workers. Now it's 278 times more. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. It's a conversation we've had before talking about Bobby Kotick, CEO of Activision and things like that. And in terms of the cost of video games increasing is right if it gets the right spread. If that just goes in to make that gap 300 times, then it's still not right. It's still the offset. The price of games has gone up, but people are still being exploited. So yeah, there is definitely a trickle down effect that people at the bottom end are being exploited 100%. But that's a conversation for a completely different podcast. But I appreciate the sentiment behind it on the list. It wasn't for me or had my name. It was for an address a few streets away. In that case, if they were handing it to me, I'd like, no, that's not for me. And I noticed Now you go deliver it to where you're being paid to deliver this. I'm not. Take it there.
Yeah.
However, if I'd taken it in and got into the kitchen and gone, fuck, turn around and the delivery driver's gone, I'd just go and drop it off and say, look, I've just got this, sign for it. There you go, fill your boots, and I'd put it at the person, and that's it. If they went and did it and it all went wrong or whatever, then I don't give a shit. I would just be like, yeah, okay, it's gone. And if Amazon rang me up and say you took the delivery of this and it wasn't for you, I said, well, it was delivered to the wrong address. I signed for it, and I went and delivered it personally. Prove that I didn't. It is what it is. I'm doing all right. Just having a cup of tea while I get ready for work calls. I'm great. No complaints. I hope you have a great day. Nice. I'm good. You're good. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. Anyway, let's start wrapping things up. Just want to give you a little bit of a confirmation though. Let me just type something in the chat first. Exclamation mark. Cyberpunk? No, Cyberpunk. There we go. We are doing a Cyberpunk giveaway. Only for subscribers, though. So, don't want to build your hopes up if you're not a sub. Only subs get access to the giveaway. One of our subscribers will get a copy of Cyberpunk. So, if you want to win yourself a copy of Cyberpunk, just make sure you're subbed to the channel. Make sure you're in Discord and you get entered into the giveaway, which will take place on December the 7th. One person will win it, and the odds of it are pretty high because not everyone's a sub, and not everyone's a sub and is in Discord, so you have pretty high odds as opposed to most online giveaways. The reason I'm mentioning this though is not just to get you to subscribe. That would be very useful and beneficial to the channel, by the way, but the reason I am mentioning it is that no more delays for Cyberpunk 2077. It is for real this time. CD Projekt Red has yet again stressed that Cyberpunk 2077 will make its December release date. Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red was once certain the game would not be pushed back again. Was once certain the game. Oh yeah, okay. But that was in September when the action RPG had a November release date. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077 ended up getting one more delay anyway. But CD Projekt is now fairly certain that this will be the one. As part of a look back at the developer/publisher's third quarter, CD Projekt Red mentioned the game's December 10th release date multiple times throughout the document. CFO Peter Nilubovic, okay, we'll just say Peter, likewise reiterated the same message in a video going over the quarter's highlights, where he also confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077's marketing campaign has already kicked off and that the main push will hit its stride soon. It makes sense, as the developer has recently been sharing console gameplay from Xbox One X and Series X at one point, and just this week from PS4 Pro and PS5. This is significant, of course, because the various console versions of Cyberpunk 2077 were said to be what caused the recent delay. Elsewhere in the report, CD Projekt Red revealed that the Witcher franchise is responsible for most of its profits during the quarter, thanks mainly to the continued sales of Witcher games, including The Witcher 3 and Thronebreaker. So, if you are interested in a copy of Cyberpunk, it's probably going to happen in December. I mean, it's going to happen. We've seen discs boxed out there at Amazon, which will deliver it and then not deliver it, and someone will steal it, and then they'll promise to put it right by offering you a 50p cover charge or something like that. Banter aside, the game is happening. So if you want a Christmas game, and it's not going to be The Mandalorian in Fortnite, and it's not going to be Days Gone, and it's not going to be any of the other games that Bibby has already promised to play over Christmas, then it could be Cyberpunk.
Long go Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Christmas in the Bibby household is lasting for 4 months this year, just so he can get through all the games. So, yeah, there you go. Robbo, how's things, dude? I'm late. Do you know what? Better late than never. Good to see you in here, dude. How's things? Whenever I hear a question end with, what would you do? I can't help but think of speed. Pop quiz, hot shot. There's a bomb and a burst. If it goes below 50 miles per hour, it explodes. What do you do? What do you do? It's fucking film and a half. Speed theme tune, by the way. That's not just me having a seizure. DMCA again. Oh, god damn it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the stream. Steelboards, I thank you very much for the host. Tharian Drake, thank you very much for the raid. And Mrs. Danny D, thank you very much for the prime. Much, much appreciated. You lovely, lovely people. We are going to disappear. Just a change to the schedule for the rest of the day, though. I don't know if you could tell, but my speech is a little bit slow. I have a cut on my tongue, so it does hurt to talk. So we're giving the scoop a go today, but I'm not going to be doing the next stream. So there is no Masters of the League today. Which is boo for those people that were looking for some Master League content. But have no fear, Bibby will probably be streaming, right? Have we confirmed this?
I am.
Nice.
I am. I've got a few worky bits to do after this. So it won't be directly after this like Masters of the League would. I want to get everything that I need to do out of the way so that we can go hard.
Nice. So Bibby will be jumping on with streamy content. So the best way you can find out what that is to follow on the channel if you haven't already, and you get notified when we go live. Masters of the League will be back on Monday though. I do have a couple of things. Ibuprofen. And I also have some pastel things to help my tongue heal, so that should be good. You don't need your tongue to play a game, yeah, but you need it to shout and rant shit when you're a club manager. Shit, as I said then, it's when I say S's. So yeah, when I shout and rant stuff, it's the shit noise that hurts it. Anyway, I waffle quite a bit.
Is it rude to say that you sound like Harry Kane? Is it rude for me to say that?
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter.
Basically, I've got a big fat tongue. That's what she said. But there you go. That's enough. Too much information? Maybe it is. We are going to disappear. As mentioned, obviously, Bib will be jumping back. Any hint as to what it will be that you're playing, Bib?
I'm not too sure yet. I was thinking probably Days Gone. Because I'm balls deep into that. I don't really want to play Fortnite without you because I love that double XP. So that'll be nice. But yeah, it probably will be Days Gone.
I mean, if you did want to play Fortnite, I mean, I am still. I now have, because I wasn't planning to not stream until today. It's just I just don't want to do an episode and sticking it out on YouTube and stuff. So I mean, if you do want to stream, I could always jump into your party and play Fortnite as the second wheel. It's just not the same. So if you do want to play Fortnite, I can jump on double XP.
Well, I'll let you know in about an hour when I've got everything that I need to get done in for this weekend. Yeah, worky stuff.
I'll read. Okay, we potentially are playing Days Gone or Fortnite. You can find out by subbing. I mean, you can find out by subbing to the channel. You don't have to do that. You can find out by following, though. That's the best way. Or just check us out on socials. But I can't say any more about that because I'm stealing Bibby's thunder. Speaking about stealing thunder, Bib, is there anything you would like to say that hasn't been stolen just yet?
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us this week, guys. It's been another banging week of video game news. Today was a bit, but it's all just Black Friday stuff. Everyone wants to put out articles about Black Friday to get the clicks.
I think you did well there, though, Bib, to be fair. I mean, all of the news was Black Friday. Where could you buy your new Blaupunkt TV this Friday? But you did get some meaty articles in there, so GG, well done.
Yeah, oh, thank you. But yeah, that's obviously not what this show is about. We like to give you deals, but we also want to give you the breaking and greatest video game news for the day. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us this week. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will be back on Monday. But if you want to get involved with that show, there's two ways that you can do that. Over the weekend, find us socially at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or join us in our Discord. There is an area on there called The Scoop where you can drop in the news article, add your thoughts and impressions. As stated, we'll be back on Monday. At what time, Mr. Graham Day?
At 10 a.m. actually. 10 a.m.
Ish.
Let me hit the ish in the chat. 10 a.m. ish. A couple of comments before we leave. Iceman says, my parents have just told me a story about something they saw while shopping. A squirrel went up to a bowl of nuts and fruit left out for birds and nicked some pear pieces. He then started stumbling about. Turns out the pear had fermented and the squirrel had essentially consumed pear cider and was absolutely rat-arsed.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't have been rat-arsed. If anything, it was squirrel-arsed, mate. What you on about, mate?
Yeah. Amazing.
Robbo says, I've got a Black Friday sale on beds. Just getting it in. Drop the link. If anyone needs a bed, do you not buy from Robbo? Get involved. Seriously, if you do want to drop your link, feel free. We don't like people that just come in and spam links, but people that are friends of the channel, then yeah, by all means, we love helping our friends take a step up. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's fine. It's all good.
Somebody baby.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to disappear. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. If I don't see you before, if I play PUBG with Bib, then I'll speak to you very soon. I won't see you. You won't see me. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic weekend. And stay frosty.